What's up, friends? Welcome back to Error Code Blueberry, a very unassuming Destiny podcast. We've had a rough time getting into this one because we keep joking around. My name is Chillybin.
A Meckii, I guess.
I mean, no one else is going to be. Thank God for that, frankly.
I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. Inside my brain is a nightmare.
I've caught glimpses mainly of you describing how it is in there, and boy, is that enough.
What is it? Magnet poetry on a fridge in a frat house?
Yes, but that is just your brain. It's like a hamster inside a hamster wheel with that fridge, just moving the words around.
Monkey
Anyway,
on a typewriter.
it's week 2 of 3 for Guardian Games. Warlocks stomping at home for that week 1, looking like that's just going to continue. But I don't give a shit. Titans won it first. That's as long as hunters keep getting cuffed, I'm happy.
My favorite, there's no hunter here, so
Nope.
fucked nerds. My favorite thing that's come out of the Guardian games is all of these weird conspiracy theories that it's rigged by Bungie.
Yes,
and it's usually people being like, oh, Bungie are the same people that give their staff fucking achievement awards. So of course they're going to make sure everyone wins. Like everyone gets a year. And I'm like, who
what do you mean,
cares?
What do you mean achievement awards? It's their job. They get paid. They get little, recognition here and there as well. Like, what?
It's just like the whole, like, it's rigged. And I'm like, who, even if it is, who cares?
Yeah, it's made up
Who
space.
cares? It's a fucking video game with a fun little community event. Who cares if it's rigged? You don't get anything special if Warlocks win.
Yeah,
anyway,
you're not playing this for money, my guy.
Also, like, all the prizes and stuff are individual achievement based.
Yes.
It's not like all the Warlocks get something special. We don't get a special gun if we win or anything. So, like, what does it matter? Also, Hunters and Titans have had a win.
We've had like some days here and there, but not like we haven't won the week,
Yeah, but it's just like who like homie, it's go outside.
Yeah, go do anything else for like
put
a
mask on and go touch grass. I don't know.
Go to a cafe and talk to someone. Like,
well,
I don't know.
I've discovered my favorite comment section is like Instagram comment sections, because you think Twitter is unhinged.
Really? Yeah.
Slide into Bungie's Instagram comment section.
I've never thought to do that.
And look how fucking unhinged it gets in those comment sections. It's simultaneously hilarious but also frustrating.
I can imagine. I'm frustrated just imagining what that looks like.
Who cares? Guardian Games is rigged anyway. Like, so it's fun.
Okay, go do some dumb stuff in Destiny and like get some rewards and a bunch of SMGs.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm like running strikes a whole bunch because they are an easy way to get these contender cards done. Like, okay.
I'm playing more PvP than I normally would. Like,
I mean, it is Mayhem Week. That probably helps.
My PvP goes up 100% during Mayhem Week.
Yeah.
Anytime you see me this week, you check my profile and it says I'm in Crucible.
If you see me playing PvP, no, you didn't. Except this 1 week. Whenever it comes around.
I'm here to ruin a bunch of people's weeks.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this week it's going to be a mix of, well, for the show, it's going to be a mix of Guardian Game stuff. There's a whole bunch of like IB and Crucible stuff out of the TWAB, which is pretty interesting. And then we've got a couple of things that we're going to check in just on like yours and mine individual little task lists, I think. Save that till the end. So yeah, Guardian Games. I got my 2 platinum chest opening things done for week 1, which means I unlocked and have since purchased the big gaudy tankard. Shout outs to international shipping just destroying me. The shipping was almost as much as the fucking tankard.
I've been given permission to 3M hook in my house.
Mm.
So I am going to be purchasing the metal. and then I'm going to be taking it to a shop to have it professionally mounted, like I've done something in like the Olympics.
The medal's kind of harder to get. You have to do what, 4 of those platinum chests?
Yeah, I'm gonna grind it out, but
well,
if I can,
if it's 2 a week and you got 3 weeks,
if I can do it, my intent is to get it mounted with a little plaque and everything, and I'm gonna put it up in my lounge room like I did something.
Yeah.
So when my family visits, they see that I
you
have a
did some
medal with a
sports.
little. Oh my god, you left the house! I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I played sports in Destiny. Leave me alone.
Having Northern European family, sports is very important, so I'll tell them something cool, just like gymnastics.
Yeah, very bright
ice skating.
Very gaudy
ice skating.
Yeah.
Powerlifting.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you just make some shit up. Curling, although they'd probably be more familiar with that. It's a very kind of Nordic.
It's a first-person shooter. So I can say shooting.
Yeah. Okay.
Pigeon shooting. Those like clay pigeons.
Yes. Blueberry shooting doesn't have the same ring to it, really. No. But yeah, so what was it? Last week it was the Light Blade Strike for the competitive thing. This week it's Proving Grounds, which is just a big ass strike. I ran it for the first time literally just before we started recording. Was like a little short of the platinum tier, and that was just like a couple of blueberries I just match made in. So I reckon if I didn't think too hard about my loadout. I just went in with like stuff that matched the champions and shield types. I was like, this will do.
But I think I could speed it up.
Yeah.
Let's run it with the homies and get ourselves a bunch of platinums.
See if we can get the plat done. Because it's not match game, but it tells you what shield types are in there. Because like it's always faster to shoot it with the matching type and pop them. So yeah, I've got some other stuff I might try to run through that to make it go a bit faster. Just to get the platinum done, and then the other one is just, can you deposit a ton of fucking medals? So if I just play a bunch of Crucible, stack them up, do some contender cards, that'll get that done.
That's it, and that's it too. Like regardless of what class you play, Guardian Games is a little bit like Season of the Lost, Festival of the Lost. Sorry, or Season of the Lost. Yes, please. A whole Halloween season.
We had Season of the Lost. That was last season.
No, but like a whole season of Halloween-y shit. Right, that would be amazing.
Yeah, 3 months of that.
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd never stop streaming.
It's just like, yes, this is where I live now.
Subathon.
Yes.
Like it's just one of those things where it is like Festival of the Lost, no Season of the Lost, where it's just fun.
Yeah.
It reminds you that like Destiny is a chat room with a gun attached to it, like that old adage.
Also, because it's a video game, don't take it so seriously.
Yeah, because you can just sit in an open voice chat with like a bunch of homies and just run a playlist over and over again, or Crucible over and over again, or a Battlegrounds, a PsyOps, and just it's just no brain, no pressure fun. You're just there to get laurels and medals and shiny shit.
And like even doing that competitive strike, like got into the gold tier, and I wasn't really thinking about it, and I wasn't playing with people that I was talking to. It was just like, I'll just run this and see how it is. It's my first time seeing it. I didn't actually do any of the training playlists during the week, so I was playing Tunic. If I'm being honest, I was playing a lot of Tunic. That game fucking whips.
I was playing Turnip. What is it? Turnip Boy evades his taxes.
Yes.
Or commits tax fraud. I was playing a bunch of that.
I think. Yeah. That's what a weird title.
And 2 Point Hospital.
Fuck. I need to go back to that game. I played it when it first came out, and I was like, yeah, this is my kind of game, and then just didn't stick with it. It's very funny.
Because 2 Point University is coming out.
Yes, it is.
I got a free a code for it because I've been playing 2 Point since the beginning of. Since it was in alpha, so the developer, because the publisher's Sega. The developer sent a whole bunch of like day one alpha people who got the alpha keys or the beta keys, a whole bunch of alpha and beta keys for 2 Point University. I got one in my inbox, just sitting in my spam. So I was like, oh fuck, I forgot these games are funny, but also just a fun mindless simulation game.
A little bit. Anyway, speaking of mindless Simulation games.
Yeah, sorry.
Guardian games.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time. I don't know what else there is to say about it after 1 week. Just go do it, have fun.
I'm just ready to see a statue in the tower of a hawk. Is it a hawk or an eagle? Some sort of carnivorous predatory bird.
Yeah, I think it's an eagle. The warlock symbol, right? That's what you mean? Yeah.
I'm just ready for that gold statue of like an eagle fucking on like a lion or a snake or something.
Well, the lion is the Titan symbol.
Yeah.
Hunter's snake, yeah.
Because for the last 12 months, I've had to look at that statue of, what was it, the snake attacking the eagle?
No.
Or something?
I'm pretty sure it was Warlocks that won last time.
I feel like it lost. No, we did this last episode. I'm pretty sure the Hunters won, actually.
Maybe. I don't give a shit. There you go.
Yeah, but I'm sick of that dumb statue.
Yeah, fair. I wonder if are they going to replace that one statue where it's sitting, or are they going to start lining them up?
This is gonna be a really obscure reference, but just for only.
You just turn your microphone off.
I could sneeze and this Yeti stops. I have, for those who aren't aware of the pod, I have a medieval tattoo, so this is about to be a very obscure reference. I would love a Hall of Heroes in the tower, like a space you could go that. My father's ringing. A space that you could go.
Get him on. No, don't. Actually, that's weird.
Hedge Papa. A space that you could go that would. It's just got all of the, like, especially Guardian games, like the previous winners, like all the statues and stuff lined up. Like, imagine that. Like, just
yeah, because like
heroes.
It's like if you've ever gone into you can see your like legacy, and if your account has been playing Destiny for a while, it'll show you stuff from like D1. It's got like this nice little animated cutscene thing, and they've done a similar thing with the timeline that you can kind of scroll through depending on like what expansions you've played. But yeah, to have that as like a physical space that you could go into in game, that would be pretty cool. And like, yeah, have those statues there, but also have like almost like an in-game art gallery of like, here's this thing that you did. Remember this?
Yeah.
That would be tough to do, I think, in the tower because it's like an instanced group space. You would need that to be like an individual space that you load into, so it's showing you your history, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I remember, which game was this? I think it was Project Gotham Racing used to do this, where it's like you have your car collection, but you can load into this space and just wander around this house and courtyard, and all of your cars are just like distributed around the place. And that was like, kind of cool. You just like look at them up close.
Yeah, like I think that would be fun. Just somewhere where you can see like Guardian game stuff, and maybe less so some of the individual stuff like Crimson Days and Festival of the Lost and
you mentioned how
Dawning.
You go into a room and it's just
like
all
that.
spooky. It's like, hey, remember Festival of the Lost? Here's how good you did at it, because it's all you
I'd
did.
never leave.
That'd be pretty good.
But just like a lineup of all the previous Guardian games, like statues maybe.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
It would. Be very difficult for like development, because it has to be like generated for every different player in some way. Because they'd all have different histories, right?
True.
You'd have to build it in some kind of modular way where it's like, hey, if you've done this, show it to you. If not, skip it, move on to the next thing, and just like work your way down the timeline.
Or maybe just make it just a generalized thing and just the history of Guardian games.
Yeah.
Regardless of where they're at or when they join. Just
yeah, well, there's two layers to it, right?
There's like one this year.
Yeah. There's that information which is like community-wide results, and then there's the individualized stuff of like, here's when you finished this campaign, or here's when you hit this rank, or like, those sort of things.
I would go more so just the generalized room of just here's a history of who won every year. Yeah.
Yes. So Guardian Games, that's continuing this week and next.
It's a good time. Mayhem is this week.
Yes, it
It's a
is.
really cheap way to get laurels and
Especially today,
medals.
it's extra laurels and Crucible.
Yeah.
Plus, it's just
And
fun to
also
sling
like
supers.
a lot of the time the Crucible contender card is like crush people with this subclass.
Yeah, it's just like get void or stasis final blows. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna just throw frisbees a lot.
Oh, Frangin. No, Frang is something else in Australian. I was going to say Frangin frisbees, but you don't want
Wait,
to Frang a frisbee.
what is frangin?
Frang is condoms.
I've never heard that term.
A Franger. Yeah.
So if I frang a frisbee, I'm putting a frisbee inside a condom.
Yeah, you got to
Right?
play safe.
Yeah.
Play safe.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it was raining today when I played disc golf, so I could have done with some protection.
Flinging frisbees is a better term.
There you go.
I haven't been allowed to drink in, what has it been? Since my accident, 2 months?
Yeah, a little bit.
And I have a 9% alcohol drink from Japan, so it's lubricating the wheels a little bit. The gears are
the wheels are
lubricated
close to
in my
falling
brain.
off, it seems like. Let me try to get this back on the road. So, Guardian Games, we've covered that. Now, this week at Bungie.
Yes,
I feel like I'm going to say it that way. That's fun. This week at Bungie had a bunch.
It's Schwab.
Yes, yes. Had a bunch of Iron Banner stuff. Some of which we already knew, like the way that they're changing the rep system, the reward system to work like Shaxx and Saint, where you've got, you got those different ranks that you go through. They're doing the engram focusing that you can get through trials.
Yeah, they gave us with these changes coming, I felt like, because the people who engage in IB, sorry, I was just looking at the twab. The people who engage in IB are like committed to IB. That's their shit. So they have kind of given us like, we're going to be changing it. Just letting you know in advance.
Yes.
Things will be changing.
Yes. It's
be ready, like they did with Trials, where they're like, Trials will be changed, guys.
Yeah.
Just letting you know.
I'm kind of on board with pretty much all of this. Like the big one is that they're taking away the power level, so it's like regular Crucible, where it doesn't matter what level your gear is, you're going to hit as hard as anyone else.
Skills based.
Yeah, and they're keeping that power level requirement for, I think, Trials and I guess whatever the comp playlist is.
Yeah.
So that's good, because they've kind of said that like they want it to be accessible to everybody, but it's like this celebration of Crucible essentially. And that's no good if people can't get in because they're just not at the right power level. So that's cool. It means that this week Twitter has been full of memes of people like, I'm going to bring the sunset weapon out because it doesn't matter. It's like, you're literally, that's the whole point of fucking vaulting stuff. Like, don't do this. Anyway,
people are silly.
They are, but yeah, I'm into that because it's always annoying if you're not able to keep up with the season and you quite like Iron Banner, and it's not as hard to get into as something like Trials. It's like, yeah, I'm just going to play 6-on-6 with capture objectives. Cool, done.
We've had a lot of fun just memeing in IB as well, like just running IB, just not caring.
And also it's very good for rewards, or at least it has been. I know the bounties and the reward system's kind of shifting a bit. I hope that it stays as a source of pinnacle rewards, because that's always been good.
Yeah.
On that, actually, so they're, moving to that different rep system, but they're introducing like not modifiers, multipliers for how many rank points you earn, based on some really cool stuff. So that they'll have like challenges. I think there's an image that shows there's like 0 out of 4 challenges complete, and that might be akin to bounties, or it might be like, in a single match, go on the hunt a certain number of times. We don't know yet what that looks like, but you can also get additional multipliers from wearing Iron Banner gear, or they said applying ornaments to your non-Iron Banner gear to make it look like Iron Banner gear. And that'll get you like an extra like point something times on top of the rank multiplier, and then I think in the screenshot there was like emblem equipped. So if you go in with an Iron Banner emblem, so it's like, hey, how much are you bought into Iron Banner? Because if you are, you're going to get extra points. And it starts out as like a flat 1.0 times rank points, and then goes up from there, depending on how much of that stuff you've done. So that's kind of cool.
And those changes too, they really feel like they're like, hey, we know people are like committed to IB. Like committed to IB. You know, like, so we are going to acknowledge them and reward them for the time that they've put into the previous structure. So we're going to give them things like, hey, if you go in with IB armor, if you go in with an IB like emblem, like, we're acknowledging you exist, and we're acknowledging this change is going to suck for some of you because of how committed you are to the previous structure. But like, we're going to make it worth your while to adapt to the structure as well.
Yeah,
and that's one of the things that Bungie does with their big changes is they're like, hey, we are acknowledging people are committed to the way this certain aspect of the game is, and we know change is hard.
Yeah.
Change is scary. So we're going to make it worth your while by like acknowledging that you are committed and rewarding you for that previous committal to the way things were. And then on top of that extra layer of being like, we're rewarding the way you were committed, but we're also going to reward you for continuing to commit after these changes too, by being like, hey, you've got this thing, we're going to reward you for having this thing.
Yeah, very true. I mean, what was it? It was like a season or two ago. They just kind of like made all the Iron Banner ornaments be on fire when it's Iron Banner week.
So dope.
Yeah, like I don't remember if they even like announced that was going to happen. It was just like all of a sudden people posting these images like, hey, has this always been the case?
Am I meant to be on fire?
Yeah, but I think it was like predominantly just the chest pieces would do that, and it wasn't all Iron Banner gear. It was like basically the most recent set would do it.
Yeah, because cool. a lot of the IB chest pieces for all the classes have the big IB symbol in the center of it.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's very garish. I love it.
Yeah, but if you run a whole set of Iron Banner gear, it's over the top. It's battle armor. You're ready to get in there. Go to war. Yeah,
and
be on fire.
The Iron Lords aren't exactly subtle.
God no.
I mean, Saladin as a presence, let alone his design.
Yeah, speaking of Iron Lords, we will be able to earn the Iron Lord seal, which I imagine will come with the title Iron Lord.
Iron Lord.
Which is fucking hard as hell.
That's like the only seal that I'm actually just like, when I look at getting a purple or a gold name underneath my handle, that's really the only thing that I'm like, oh fuck, that would look dope.
I think too, like, of all the titles and seals that you can get, Iron Lord is one of, if not the only one that is actually used in game. Yeah, like Saladin is an Iron Lord, right?
Yeah.
Like those names are not usually in fiction names.
Yeah. Like,
it's very
what
cool.
Is it? Mithrax. What was the one for his season? Video something.
Oh no, Vidmaster was the 30th anniversary.
Oh
seal.
Yeah, Vidmaster.
His was it was Season of the Splicer, so I think it was just Splicer, right?
Yeah. They never really. Oh no, they do. So maybe that's not entirely correct.
Yeah, but like most of them
because they refer to Mithrax as a splicer, and you can get the splicer seal.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like,
I went
most
to make
of
a joke
are...
and ended up proving you wrong. Haha, get right.
No, but I said like it's one of, if not the only. So
yeah,
it's pretty rare that they are actually relevant to the fiction. Hey, I remember what I said. I'm only halfway through this beer.
I said what I said.
Fight me. I'll see you in the car park.
Just little kid punch.
Yes. Erico Blueberry turns on itself. I'm
about to write a tweet longer about you.
Or do my least favorite thing, which is the twit longer fake out, where you post a link to a twit longer. It's like, hey, this person's actually sick. See you later. Don't do that.
I'll do the thing that you super love, which is when someone starts a tweet thread and it's 1/? question mark at the end of it, and it just keeps going.
Oh.
But I'm going to post no evidence of my claims.
Yeah, good. You
just have to believe me because I'm a woman.
Yeah. Fuck. Never wanted to be a misogynist more.
ECB, back to the usual bullshit of flaming people on the internet.
Subtweeting with our mouths. The other remaining IB specific change, some other stuff that's like part of IB but is more just general Crucible changes, but the last one here is that Iron Banner will now be, at least next season, twice a season. As opposed to like once a month, or like I forget what the cadence is at the moment. Maybe it's like 3-4 times a season, but they're going back to just twice.
I think it's every 4 weeks, right?
Might be. And that would put it at roughly once a month.
Because it pops up. No. It pops up every second trials week, yeah?
If that were the case, it would be like every 2 or 3 weeks, and I don't think it is. Anyway, twice a season. They've put out the dates if you care about that sort of thing, but I'm not really sure why. But at the same time, it does help them if what they're doing is like, hey, Iron Banner is a celebration of Crucible. Let's try and give people a lot of reasons to do it by making it more scarce. That probably ensures that people are around for it.
They're going to leap on the chance to engage with it. Like, I personally know D2 players who only log in Trials Week or only log in IB Week.
That shit is like people who only play Trials as far as their Destiny engagement goes blow my mind because it's not that good of a competitive shooter.
But to be fair, I know some of my friends listen to this.
Yeah.
To be fair to those specific people, their content creation outside of Trials Weeks is things like Call of Duty, Apex, and Valorant.
Yeah.
So the competitive grind is their bread and butter,
right?
And they love that challenge.
I'm always
they're not
curious.
super toxic about it. No, I know we dunk on Trials players all the time, but my homies who play Trials are not those kinds of players.
I'm just always curious, like, why is Destiny?
Come for me.
Why is Destiny 2 Trials in that rotation? Because it just doesn't feel like it fits to me.
I've asked them, and they said that just Destiny, and I've heard this from a couple of...
Is it like their come down game out of all of those?
I've heard this from a couple of content creators who, like, I didn't know they played Destiny, and then when they saw that I played Destiny, they were like, oh shit, we play Destiny, you should come play with us. And then they're like, oh, we play Trials. It's because it's like compared to things like Apex, Valorant, Call of Duty, CSGO, they've said that Destiny doesn't feel like any other first-person shooter that they play. They will admit that the way that Destiny handles guns and recoil and things like that actually feels a lot better than a lot of first-person shooters.
Oh yeah, no, the gun feel is amazing.
Yeah, so with competitive first-person shooters being their bread and butter, it's just having a game that feels really good, having a competitive mode is attractive to them. And the special abilities, the way things recharge, the movement tech, the just general, like, just class abilities and stuff like that. They said that it feels like no other game to them. Because when you think about things like, not so much Valorant and Apex, but like CSGO and Call of Duty, it's very grounded in quote-unquote reality.
Yeah, it's very much like, the same no matter what you do.
Being able to float, being able to roll, being able to charge, like it feels fresh. And it's a way that they use to kind of refreshen their palette when it comes to competitive first-person shooters. That's the way I've had a couple of homies kind of explain it to me. It's like it's a refresher of the first-person competitive space. It just feels fresh after previous first-person shooters feeling very clunky and very like heavy. To be able to play Destiny and float around and throw Nova bombs and dodge roll and it's very refreshing and it feels very light and airy to them compared to other first-person shooters. That's the way, because I said the same thing to them. I was like, Trials of all things is like, and no offense, it's not Destiny's best offering. Like, in my opinion, the way I play Destiny. So I didn't understand. For me, that's not their best offering.
Yeah.
Mayhem is there. No, I'm kidding.
I know, I love Mayhem.
I love Mayhem, but like also at the same time, for me, raids are their best offering.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
So like DSC is their best offering. I'm just gonna put it out there.
That is good.
You know, so having it explained like that, I was like, actually, no, I get it. Because like Destiny is the primary first-person shooter I play, but 10 years ago before D1, CS:GO was my primary first-person shooter.
Yeah, okay.
And Call of Duty was my primary first-person shooter before the whole battle royale kind of method took off for games.
Yeah, fuck.
They were my go-tos, like just loading into a lobby and just all night, over and over again, being harassed for being a female. No, I'm kidding. Kind of. Not kidding, but I'm also am.
Yeah, so that's Iron Banner.
Yeah, I'm excited.
That's all next season.
I don't play a lot of IB when it is around. Now I'm actually... That's the flip side of the coin, is it's refreshing it for the people who play it all the time. Yeah. But then also people like me who aren't exactly actively engaged in it and only engage with it to play, to get pinnacles, and occasionally I'll see a piece of armor where I'm like, oh, that'll work with a fit that I'm building.
Yeah, I think...
I'm actually excited to play AB. It feels more accessible now.
Yeah, I think they said too there's going to be a short quest that everyone will have to go to like quote unquote unlock IB. It sounds like something everyone will have to do regardless of like if you're a veteran or a new light. Fine, like especially if they're changing it up. Hopefully, what that does is introduce people to all the new systems and all that stuff.
I think they've done it really well because I feel like they're running the changes in line with Saladin's law change.
Well, that's how they justified it being twice a month.
To me, that's
like, hey,
really
he's got
clever.
more shit to do.
Yeah, like to me, that's really clever to be like, hey, Saladin's not exactly, one of us anymore. So,
but I wonder if that's a convenient mask for some other reason for it going down to twice a season.
Yeah, but I mean that's really clever to tie those kinds of changes into law because it feels more organic.
Yeah, I wish more stuff that shows up in a change list in a TWAB was actually like justified in the game somehow.
Yeah,
that would be so cool.
Well, they kind of did that with trials.
This gun fires slightly differently now. Don't bother with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they kind of did that with trials. I feel like trials was them testing the waters of tying changes.
Yeah, I feel like if they were going to do that now, they would have like a short quest that involves some of the Saint Osiris story, what happened last season, and him like taking this thing over. There would be like a whole bunch of that stuff probably tied in, or at least references to it.
Yeah, they kind of like. I feel like they tested the waters a little bit with that because it did it didn't exactly directly tie in, but it did line up with the law changes when it came to Saint Osiris.
Yes. Okay, now more general Crucible updates. Rift as a game mode. I believe this is from like D1.
Yes.
I never did D1 Crucible because I tried it once. I was like, fuck this. I'll go play Call of Duty. So it sounds to me, and I'm guessing you've played it so you can tell me where I'm wrong. It sounds to me like there's this like central item as an objective that you're trying to pick up and carry to a goal. But if you hold it too long, it'll blow up. So you kind of need to work together as a team to like shuffle this thing forward. Is that right? I don't know. I skim read it before we started this.
So I'm just going...
They called it the Spark.
Yeah. Like, D1 Meckii is very different from D2 Meckii, and it's because D1 Meckii fell into a content creator group that just played, I'm not going to call names out, but just played PvP. Rift feels like... I'm just reminding myself. Yeah, D1, you were correct. Because I wanted to triple check that because it came through in the Taken King expansion.
Right. which I did play, but like I said, never touched Crucible really.
One of my favorite expansions because they did big things like this. So you have a rift at your base, and then you have to carry the spark to like a central location, like a point.
Right. So it's like a reverse capture the flag.
Yes. You have 75 seconds to score. I'm just reminding myself of the game mode. And the spark runner will explode. You can use most weapons and abilities, but it's you won't be allowed to use your super. If you are killed as the spark runner, there's a 20-second respawn, but they might change that.
So now, is this what's in the TWAB for what's coming next season, or is this you looking at D1 Rift?
This is me reminding myself of D1. Because to me, it felt very much like, you know the Halo multiplayer mode where you grab the skull and you have to deposit the skull?
No, Oddball is just you have to hold the skull and tick a timer up to a certain amount.
Yeah. So, like, the spark is kind of like a combination of Oddball and Capture the Flag.
Mm-hmm.
For me,
let me find these fucking notes.
I reminded myself, like, the way we used to describe Rift when I used to stream D1 like pretty much every day was it felt like Bungie were kind of being like, hey, remember we made Halo? It feels like a very Halo game mode.
Okay, let me
like it's one of those game modes where you would sit down with your homies and crack a beer and just do it, and it's fun. Like, it's fun.
Okay, I've pulled up the TWAB because I feel like both of us are getting this wrong now that I'm looking at this, and I want to...
This is the old Rift game mode, so they might be reintroducing it with all of D2's mechanics, because as Destiny 2 stands now, it does feel a lot different from D1.
Okay. Now let me tell you how this works, because I think
how is it going to work in D2? Okay. I'm really curious. But that's how Rift worked in D1 roughly.
Okay, here's how it's going to work next season when it comes in. A spark appears in the center of the map a few seconds after it starts. The spark itself is a buff. So like, except you can use super. Oh, no, sorry. Ability usage aside from super. I read that wrong.
So that's the same as D1 Rift.
First 5 seconds after picking up the spark, or a few seconds after taking damage, both teams receive a waypoint for the spark holder. And after that, the waypoint remains for the spark holder's own team. So you kind of like, then you have to, protect them as they go in, I guess.
Yes. So that was the main thing too.
So it's not that you have a base, it's just like randomly a waypoint will show up.
Yes. So I remember in D1 Spark or Rift, there being bases, kind of like Capture the Flag.
Mm-hmm.
So they've changed that up, which is fun.
It might be like how they do the capture zones in Trials now, where it can spawn in a number of known locations.
See, Rift in D1, especially with my friend group being highly competitive, it was a lot of fun, but it also spawned a lot of arguments.
I'm sure it did.
My old handle, which I won't use because then you'll find all my old content. Why didn't you defend that side? And it's like, homie, I was behind you.
Yeah, okay, that sort of stuff.
So-and-so moved into my zone, so I rotated to the back. Like, that's not my fault. That's so-and-so's fault for jumping into my zone, which we agreed to before the game.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of arguments like that. Like, very raid arguments. Like,
yes.
You were meant to be doing this thing. Well, so-and-so started doing this thing, so I pivoted to what they were doing, so...
Yeah. Few more bits and pieces here. Like you said, if you hold on to it too long, it blows up. It doesn't say how long that is. That's all it says. Resurrections are enabled. So that could be a big part of this. No points for kills, just for dunking the spark. So you have to actually play the fucking objective. That's nice.
Oh, good. But good.
This next line is interesting. And when I said before about there being Iron Banner adjacent stuff, when Rift is in Iron Banner, the hunt is on when your team has the spark. When the music intensifies, it's time to score. Now, does that mean the hunt as we know it now, where you get maximum points for killing the other team? That has to be what it means, right? Like,
it feels like that.
But
yeah,
they just said that there's no points for kills, so I'm not sure how that's gonna play out.
Oh.
Mm.
I mean, it's one of those. We're very much of the mind though. Is like we'll
have to
cast our
wait and see.
judgment when we play it.
The match itself will have a 10-minute time limit, but there's several ways to extend it past that. One of them being what they call continuation. Oh, this is actually kind of cool. At the end of regulation time, if the current spark holder could change the outcome of the match,
it'll continue?
Yeah, it'll continue until they either drop it or they score it.
Huh.
So that's pretty cool, actually. You could, because it prevents a situation where you're like holding it, time runs out, game over. It's like, well, we could have won if I just dunked it. So you do get that like final round chance to like do something with it. Yeah, if there's a tie after time's up, 90-second overtime, 3 sparks spawn, and then whoever can score first
free
wins.
For all.
Literally, whoever scores first wins. That's
like
pretty
that.
Cool. It can still end in a tie if no one manages to get that off, but that's pretty funny.
So if it's a tie, you enable frenzy mode.
Basically. That's kind of cool. I'm keen to see it. Like I said, I never played it when it was first around. I'm also very curious how it's going to interact with Iron Banner. But yeah, we're getting a, for Destiny 2 at least, a new PvP mode, but we're also getting a new map. They did promise us a while back.
A nostalgic revival, kind of, having Rift back. Because Rift was like, Mayhem's a lot of fun, but Rift can be a shitload of fun too. My memories of D1 days, Rift can be a shitload of fun. That game, that kind of game mode.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's a new map coming. They have promised this for a while that this season we would get one. They posted, I think, a screenshot, and it looks like Dark Pyramid architecture. So imagine the opening section to Valve the Disciple. It's all of that kind of shit.
It looks like
it's like that little bit of swampy bullshit on the ground. That's kind of, I think they called it disjunction, which kind of doesn't mean anything.
Weird word.
I know.
I mean, disjunction.
I don't think that's a word.
We'll find out, I guess. But for me, that gives me like the dismantling of like a junction point.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's find out if Bungie's back on its inventing word bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, they've invented a lot of words for a lot of things.
Disjunction, a lack of correspondence or consistency.
Well.
And then the logical terminology of it is the relation of two distinct alternatives.
Okay, that sounds like the exact kind of definition Bungie would love.
Yeah.
Okay. Look,
so disjunction is a compound statement formed by combining two statements using... Whoa, shut up. I know what that is.
We get it. It's a word.
Yeah.
I was wrong.
Opposite sides of a parallel is another usage of it.
Interesting. Okay.
Huh.
New map.
Bungie.
And we're just going to go shoot each other in this map. Disjunction.
Yeah, but I love that, like... Surprise, Meckii loves the creepy, gross aesthetic.
Swampy
but like
architecture, yeah.
I like that aspect of the throne. Like back when Throne World was first kind of teased, and then also early Witch Queen days, I screamed about how much I loved the Dark City, the Throne World.
Seeing that shit for the first time, I was losing my shit constantly for that first week.
I like yucky things. Surprise.
Yeah, we done been new.
So, like, there's a map gonna be centered around, like, swampy, like, Dark City bullshit? Fuck yeah. Like, sign me up.
Yeah. We're also getting, and they said this is a return as well, the mode Zone Control, which I don't know if I've ever played. I don't know if that's an early D2 thing or what.
It's
I have to get those notes back up.
I mean, it's kind of an evolution on Control, isn't it?
Well, I'm literally just pulling this back up. Zone Control, 6v6, like Control, only you don't get points for kills.
Yeah.
Oh, you get points for the amount of time you're holding zones.
Yes. There is a old Halo game mode that kind of corresponds with that kind of gameplay. I can't remember.
Actually, now that
Capture the Point.
Maybe. It's King of the Hill. But that's always a single point. This, I think, is like Control, where there's 3 of them. You probably get more points per second if you hold more. I think I've played this, actually.
We've never played it, for example, in its new iteration. I should elaborate. But it's kind of like maybe it would be best to pop something like a Titan or something on the point and then send Hunters or Warlocks out to wipe the other team and come back.
Dude, 6v6, put a Titan on every single point, bubble it up. That's what's going to happen.
Bubbles and shields.
Yeah.
Or even a Well of Radiance could hold.
Yeah.
I mean, a Well of Radiance for holding the point if you're being challenged.
The difference is if you're running the bubble with the Helm of Saint 14, enemies who enter the bubble are blinded. That shit is kind of helpful.
So once again, another game mode where you could crack a beer and just not think about it and just have a really fun time.
Yeah, and it's my first thought's obviously Helm of Saint 14, Titan bubble. Second thought is the Titan exotic glaive that shoots bubbles.
Oh, true.
Not that I really like using glaives in PvP, but that could be kind of fun.
A rift, like a Well of Radiance rift stack could be fun too, like empowering rift.
So a whole bunch of Crucible stuff next season, huh?
Fruits of the Assembler.
I say next season, it's like a week and a half away.
Yeah, right? and we still don't know what the season is called.
No, but that's kind of normal. I feel like the next TWAB is where they'll reveal that, plus if it's going to be Arc or Solar 3.0. Like, we know those are coming.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
It's like, we don't like theorizing unless it's story. But like, part of me is hoping that next season is all I can think of is Finch. Savathun's ghost.
Oh, Imaru.
Imaru trying to... Cause...
Sorry, let me use his full title. Daddy Imaru, as he refers to himself as, during some of the... Like, if you do patrols and stuff on the Throne World, that fucking sucks. Okay.
Let's be honest, if Imaru was a person, he'd be my type. Like a creepy old weirdo. My type.
What's up? It's Daddy Imaru. He's got like this weird voice too. Yeah.
But then he looks like Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus becomes the Hunter Vanguard. Confirmed.
Bungie, if anyone from Bungie's listening, can we have Norman Reedus or Mads Mikkelsen voice act in your next week's? Please.
No, if Mads is coming in.
Mads as the witness, please.
No. Mads, they're gonna what's the right word? Bring about a new speaker for the Traveler. That's Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
Like super weird, ephemeral kind of being. Yeah, that's Mads.
The Dutch accent.
Yes, I would love that.
Norman
Hunter Reedus can just be a grimy little shit boy who lives in the tower.
No, new Hunter Vanguard. Norman Reedus.
He can be both of those things.
With that gravelly voice.
Yeah, he can live in the walls and be the Hunter Vanguard.
No, because of the legacy of Cade, you would need another Hunter Vanguard with that same kind of like swagger.
You don't need that.
So you would
Jeffrey
Dean Morgan. Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
You want to play the classic game, Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Javier Bardem?
No, because you need a hunter with like Negan energy next. That's my opinion, and I stick by it.
I'm trying to think of who would be the dumbest Hunter Vanguard. And I want to say, like, for some reason, Keegan-Michael Key sounds really funny to me. Just, like, running around just saying dumb shit constantly.
Chris Rock, the next Hunter Vanguard with his lovely childlike voice. Tyler the Creator with his like deep gravelly
the Creator, that's the answer.
Take no shit kind of like deep voice, but is also like can drop into that effeminate kind of like ooh kind of like
Nardi, you made me nervous.
You made me nervous. And then
Yeah,
we'll look
I
back.
won't. We need to tell a couple of people because I feel like they'd enjoy that joke. Tyler, the creator, becomes the Hunter Vanguard. Oh. If you're listening, Bungie, the idea is yours. Just make it happen.
You have the money there.
God,
you have
yeah.
Lance.
You got that.
You have Lance as a full-time voice actor.
Sony
Come on
money
now.
That
Come on
fucking
now.
Jim Ryan doesn't think women deserve their own autonomy money.
You got that, hey, cast Meckii as an Elixni, and all I do is my weird I'm up to bullshit giggle.
But it's like you only ever hear it in like radio calls in game, and it's always like got a bit of an echo applied to it. So
and then something in the tower breaks.
That exact laugh.
Or you get a waypoint on the map and you don't know why. Just me running some bullshit.
You go find the waypoint. It's just a box. You can't interact with it. It's just a box. Meckie's inside.
Hello.
Okay, bringing it back. A couple last things. Actually, one last thing, and then it's into our bullshit. Activity streaks. I like them when they get high and you get a lot of points because you're doing the same thing over and over again. I don't like them when you go and do literally one other thing and it wipes them clean. That is changing next season.
Oh, good. Yes.
So
good.
now they will basically, like, for each of them, they will either increase or decrease by 1, depending on what you just did. So if you get Crucible up to 5 and then you go do Gambit, Crucible comes down 1 to 4, Gambit goes up to 1.
Oh, okay.
And that applies across all of those things that track the ritual streak. So I super love that, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say for our friend group, our like fire team and our clan, that works because quite often we'll go do a palette cleanser and then jump back into a thing, or maybe we've had a really shitty Gambit run and we'll go play Mayhem, for example, or we'll go play like Crucible, or we'll go do a strike. Like we'll go cleanse our palette and then sometimes come back.
Yeah, or it's like, I've been running strikes for like an hour or 2 because I'm just trying to like get a bunch of stuff done.
And then someone drops into the tower.
Or someone's like, hey, does anyone want to run 3 Crucible matches to get the pinnacle? And then we're done. It's like, okay, I will still, by the end of that, have 2 left on my Vanguard streak, for example. They've also said that doing a non-ritual activity won't clear them. I hadn't noticed this as much, but it sounds like what that means is right now, if you were to go get it up to 5 and then, I don't know, go do a story mission, that would wipe it. Or do a wellspring, right? Like those things that aren't streak based. It sounds like they're fixing that, and I didn't even realize that was an issue. Because the thing is, they don't always show what your streak is, depending on what you're loading into. But I really like this change. It's really good. I like it.
I've never noticed that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, weird.
So they're making that work a little better for everybody. And now we're into the fun part, for me at least, because I get to talk about Gambit. I realized this week that I am close, but not finished, with gilding my dredgen.
Glucy the Drucy!
I gotta Gilducy the Dradushi. That's awkward. I think I'm like maybe 20 or less wins away, and then I need like 6 or 7 kills as an invader, and then I'm done. I got that close and then just stopped playing Gambit. And
about right.
And right now it's a good time because like there's a triumph for doing 3 Gambit contender cards for the Guardian games, and I want to get those.
I'm gonna buy a contender.
I want to get those medals. Play a bunch of Gambit. They're a little awkward because they're like get arc or stasis final blows.
Actually, no, for me that's fine.
But it's like all of them where just finishing a match will get you a bunch of progress, but you probably need to do like 3 to 4 Gambit matches to finish one.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of Gambit, and frankly, I need it. So I'm back playing Gambit again. I'm back on my bullshit.
Hell yeah, dude.
In a bad
I love
way.
playing Gambit with you, so like, fuck yeah. Let's go.
Yes. Yes, actually, I want to play Gambit right now.
Hell yeah.
And then also, like, the other thing that I realized is I need to finish the seasonal challenges to get that big stack of bright dust at the end, and I'm maybe like a half dozen off doing that, but it's annoying things like getting the ornaments for the seasonal shotgun, and I realized I hadn't done any of the darkness rifts in the throne world, which you need to use the parasite grenade launcher to do, because you have to like get affected by the explosion of the grenade from the launcher, and that gives you a thing called Worm's byproduct, and that's what lets you damage the darkness rifts, which are these very small things that are in very set locations.
Yeah.
And I think I've almost done all of them, or I have done all of them. I'd have to check. But you only need 3 out of the 10 to get the seasonal challenge done. I just hadn't done it. I was just being lazy.
Just vibing.
Just been doing other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Quit my job this week. It's the whole thing. Going through changes.
Also, like, Destiny's one of those games where you just kind of do your thing, and then you're looking through the menus, and you're menus. You're looking for the menus.
I got my dinner for menu log.
I'm just taking a little look for the menus. You look through the menus and you're just like, oh fuck, I need to do this thing, or oh, actually this triumph sounds doable, or like interesting.
This fucking notebook I have here, like that page was the locations of the moths I hadn't got yet, so I've done those. And like I'll just write notes down in this book and be like, oh yeah, I did mean to do that, and then didn't. And that, I don't know, for some reason that helps me remember. It's like, I'm going to look in the book, see what I meant to do, and I haven't done.
Blue's Clues notepad.
Yes, actually. It's me.
I know we're not talking about the Bungie store wish list, but you're talking about the moths. Bungie, please do some moth merch. Like
I don't know if I want that.
A little statue, a little plush.
With the big eyes?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay, have you found all the moths?
No, not yet, but I should, because I love them. Go
through them, because there's one that made me literally laugh out loud when I found it, because I was just roaming around. I wasn't like trying to find it, I was doing other stuff. You know, so you load into the throne world, you're in the what is it, the quagmire.
You're in the back corner near Finch usually when you load in.
Yeah, but like not even talking about that. So like that first area of the throne world, the quagmire, where Finch is, then there's the bit off to the right, which is basically the entrance to the palace or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got like the big door where the ogre spawns in and Ikora shoots the beam through it. Bottom of the stairs in front of that, there's like this little pond. One of the moths is on this little tray, and it's just like floating around in the water.
Oh!
And I was just like, I was walking through and the like waypoint popped up. So there's a moth nearby, and it's just like the generic little diamond waypoint. And I looked at it, and it was just like, just like very slowly drifting around on the water. And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. Pirates of the Caribbean music, yeah. Yeah. And I just lost my shit for about a good minute. It's like, I never would have noticed this. And I can't believe I haven't seen it until now.
Like, because when you load in, you're so underprepared when Witch Queen first came out that those moths have become the bane of your existence. And then I'm not sure, Bungie released like what the moths actually look like. And they're like these chubby little worms with like feather wings and the little like death moth like feathery like antenna and these little like baby faces. And I think the reason I'm obsessed with them at the moment is because they remind me of the crypto bites from Death Stranding, where they're these creepy little things.
Yeah.
And they've got these cute little like uwu faces on them.
You're so right, and I didn't think of that until now.
Yeah, they remind me of the little like crypto bites from Death Stranding, where they're actually
grubs.
They're actually cute as shit when you actually look at them, and I'm just like,
but I don't want to look at them. That's the thing.
I wanted so badly to get like a Savathun tattoo, but like, man, I'm kind of also adding a cute little like moth to my sleeve just because the design on them is so cute.
They're very good.
Like a little Elixni baby and a little moth. I think I'm gonna add those to my tattoo sleeve as like
and actually like,
as fillers.
As far as Destiny tattoos go, like a lot of people are like, yeah, I'm gonna get the symbols. I'm gonna get like this big thing. It's like, yeah, but what about this obscure shit? What about the moth?
Well, that's my sleeve. My sleeve is a patchwork sleeve full of obscure shit, like obscure references. Like, that's it.
Like, my, like, not Destiny at all, but like one of my favorite things, right, is because I've got the sleeve that comes past, like a long sleeve shirt typically sits like that on me, and people see that and they'll be like, oh, Dragon Ball Z, and then I just get to go like, yeah, it kind of goes like all the way up, and they're like, what the fuck? That's happened like 3 times in this week alone, and it was just so dumb.
See, I'm a Dragon Ball fan, so I want to just get the cloud.
Yeah.
Not even with Goku, like Kid Goku on it.
No, you gotta lean into all the weird extra pervy bullshit that's in Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but I've seen one too many people with Bunny Bulma tattoos, so I'm good.
Anyway, I'm trying to gild my dredging. The thing I was going to ask you, because you told me about this during the week. So, Guardian Games introduced a new weapon, the Title, the Void SMG. Some good rolls out there. You know, I've seen a few on Twitter. But I've basically just kept maybe 3 or 4 that have a couple of perk combos that I want to mess around with, see how they feel. How many are you holding right now?
35. I had to clear out my vault to make sure I had room for more. So
because, okay, to be fair, you get given a lot of them. Like, I opened one of the chests in the tower after you get, like, I think gold or platinum chest past the thing. I think I got like 3 or 4 just out of that on its own. And I'll get one out of like almost every metal deposit and every activity completion. It's just ridiculous.
Sometimes you talk to Ava and she's like, I have a gift for you, and it's a title.
Have you seen this gun? Have you seen this? It's new.
So we joke about me having an easily distracted pigeon brain all the time. I was explaining to someone in our group that I was hoarding titles, and they went, oh, you don't have a pigeon brain. You have a rat brain. Where I go out and collect shiny things and bring them back to my nest.
Magpie, homie.
And I hoard them. I get my grabby little hands on an idea and I obsess over it. I got raccoon brain.
Yeah, you're right. Raccoon is the right word.
Yeah, so I have on last count, which was just before we started recording, 35 titles.
Have you used any of them?
1, and only because it's masterworked.
Yeah, the masterwork one is pretty good. Like, you got a whole bunch of perks to choose from. It's nice and shiny.
But for the most part, it's not an SMG. I fall back. It's a good SMG. I will give it that, actually.
If I was in a situation where I needed a Void SMG, that's probably what I'm going to grab.
It's a very good SMG, and I will swap it out with my Gnawing Hunger, but if I want a high fire rate, I've got that, we don't call it God roll, but preferred choice. Gnawing Hunger, where it's a high fire rate, high clip. I've talked about it in the pod before. It's just my preferred roll. But yeah, like, that's my go-to for strike stuff, and hey, void kills of any type, that's my go-to.
Yeah.
But like, if I need a slot for something else, especially with the new mods with SMG coming back into like the champion,
I think it's Overload,
pool,
right? Next season.
Yeah, I'll grab the title. Like, it's
is it next? I don't know if we've seen champion mods for next season. Now that I say that, I think SMG is right now.
Overload. Yeah, SMG is now.
Okay, so we don't know what the seasonal mods are going to be like next season.
I think next TWAB is going to be another 6,000 word TWAB. I think.
Well, that'll be like, here's the name of the new season, here's the seasonal mods, and then we'll get an idea of like, okay, it's going to be season of the rocket launcher or shotgun or whatever it's going to be. Yeah. Right? Same way particle deconstruction made it season of the fusion rifle.
Yeah. We went on a weird tangent, and I never kind of said what I needed to say.
Oh.
Umaru.
Yes.
Circling back. I want next season to be Umaru trying to get Savathun's remains back.
He's going on a panty raid? Is that what you're saying?
He wants to res her. Get her back.
Okay.
Because we don't know where... Yeah. We still don't know where Savathun's remains went, hey. All we know is Akora went, I'll take care of this. I'll put
Yeah.
her remains somewhere, and I'm like,
Yeah,
just
and
burn them,
Amaru
get
kind of
rid
just
of them.
bounced out of there. Yeah, you're right.
So I want next season to be Umaru trying to reclaim her. This is my theory.
Mm.
Umaru is trying to get her remains back, and we've got to stop him.
Yeah, I feel like that would actually be a pretty good seasonal storyline, right? Like it could be relatively short, self-contained. Thinking back to like the season of the Splicer, where it's like, okay, Vex have taken over the city. It's like, yeah, that was like actually a fairly long seasonal story.
Maybe we've got to deal with
up.
Lucent Hive helping Umaru trying to get
maybe Lucent Hive break out of the throne world somehow.
Savathun's remains back, or
I don't know. Start a betting pool for whatever the season name is.
I just think season of the Corpsey Warpsy. Season of the Bones.
Ooh, season of the Bones is not bad.
No, she's a moth, so season of the exoskeleton, because she's got like an exo.
Season of the Wings.
Season of Ikora, please stop keeping secrets more than once. It has cost us quite a lot.
Season of the Truth.
Season of the Grave.
Ooh, we all die. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Zombie time. I mean, Guardians are technically zombies.
Yeah.
Scorn are technically zombies.
Everyone's zombies. It was always zombies.
That's my theory. Is I really hope it has something to do with Umaru trying to get those remains back. Because the last bit of the actual, like, the season, the story lore.
Yeah.
Is they mentioned the remains, like, 10 times in 10 minutes. They're just like, oh yeah, Savathun's remains, Savathun's remains, Savathun's remains. And then you go and talk to Ikora, and she's like, Savathun's remains, Savathun's remains. Right. And I'm like, just get rid of her. Like, ew. Yeah.
Or like...
As someone who owns taxidermy and like a lot of like taxidermied insects, why?
Can we get some absolute psycho that barbecues the remains and serves it up?
They put Savathun on a giant pinboard like taxidermy people do.
Oh no, they put Savathun on the rotisserie and they just slow cook it for like 10 hours.
Big glass taxidermy like shadow box frame in Ikora's office.
Actually, at some point they have to come back to Osiris, right? They have to start working towards dealing with what happened there.
Where he at?
Yeah, where the boy be?
Where him go?
Yes.
I mean, he's lost his ghost, and then he was inhabited by Savathun, and then Savathun bursted out of him. I'm just like, I'm accepting his fate.
I think at some point, like early in Witch Queen, there was reference to the fact that he's not dead.
He's just exploded. He's just a pile of flesh.
His head is now a ghost.
Oh, ew!
It's just gone up in there. Just a little ghost face coming out the mouth.
A skull-shaped ghost would be dope though.
Yeah.
He's been degloved. It's fine. Let go.
What?
Degloving is when autopsy technician hour with Meckii. Degloving is when the skin is peeled from an appendage.
Okay, that's kind of what I would have imagined that term means, but I wasn't gonna put that forward.
Yeah. Trigger warning. Yucky.
Yuck.
TW semicolon yucky.
Yes, it is yucky. Anyway,
that would be a really interesting lore. I feel like they're kind of hinting at it because Maru's like, surprise motherfucker, bye. But then he's also like, I'll be back. So keep your eyes on the sky.
Because okay. Let's wind it back a year. End of the Beyond Light campaign. How does that wrap up? And where did they go from there? It was kind of like Aramis got frozen. Sorry, stasis, right?
I think that was basically it. It was just like, this is done now, bye.
Yeah, they didn't really come back to that. But they had like all of the different seasonal stuff.
Because we did what we did with the DSC, crash it into Europa. And
yeah, but that was pretty separate to all the Aramis stuff.
And then you kind of go and see Thingy's head.
You're
like, hey, big weird friend.
And there were like the Empire hunts that made references back to it, but it was never like, here's the next thing after that event.
Yeah, but to me, the end of like the DSC specific campaign and everything felt pretty final. Like, the Stranger's primary objective was to shut down Clovis and figure that mess out, and then also see if she can get her sister back. It felt very like final, like you've done the thing. I'm still gonna vibe here because time is still kind of fucky from the Vex. You know, now that we've opened that gate, we can't close it.
Yeah.
But like, whereas the final chats that you have with like Zavala and Ikora, they don't feel final. And then the fact Umaru is still out there.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things where it's like,
it
and the throne world is still there.
It certainly feels like they're going to come back to it. Yeah.
And like I said, like the remains constantly gets hinted at, and the end kind of few conversations and few scenes you have, it's just like, okay, well, Umaru's still out there.
Yes.
He still has the capability to res Savathûn.
I've heard that man on the radio.
Yeah. You know, so it's like psyops are still a thing. We're still jumping in and out of Savathûn's throne world and this like her mindscape and things like that. So it's just like there is no, it doesn't feel as final as Deepstone Crypt.
True. Well, we'll find out in like a week and a half.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll find out before then probably what the season's called, and that'll give us all sorts of ideas. But until then, it's Guardian Games time.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably going to do it for us this week.
I got a little bit nervous when you said you were going to talk about some of our personal achievements, because I've been working on a secret for the last 2 months.
You have, and I was not going to be the one to let that out into the world. That is your secret to tell when you are ready.
I think the colors kind of allude to it.
Which colors?
Black and red.
What is going on?
I finally rolled another character.
Yes. I mean, obviously I knew that, but yes.
I accidentally leaked it to you.
To a couple of people. Yes. You sent a screenshot of your dim UI, which had one too many groupings of items.
I personally don't think you would have noticed until someone else pointed that out.
That's a good point, but I also have three characters, so mine looks like that.
It also went about 10 minutes before that person said, "Hey, Meckii."
Yeah.
I rolled a Titan.
Yes, the right answer.
And I've been working on said Exo Titan for like 4 weeks now, and no one noticed.
No, I mean, like I said, I've been playing a lot of Tunic, so I haven't even had Steam up to be like, oh, Meckie's playing Destiny.
Yeah. And there's been times that other people have been like, oh, you're in Destiny, I need to do this thing, come do it. And I would just change characters and load in as my Warlock.
Oh, so you're properly hiding the shit like a toxic boyfriend.
I was playing. I would jump in Discord and see who was online, and that would make me decide whether I was going to play as my Titan or my Warlock.
You know, you can just appear offline in like a number of ways.
But also on top of that, I was also playing my Titan very late at night.
So you actually want to be found out. You want someone to find your dirty little secret. That's why you're not hiding it.
I was like actively trying to hide it. I just didn't want to be too sus. Because you guys can see when I'm online on Discord.
Yep.
But then for me to peer offline on Bungie and Steam. The thing that gave me away was I was playing and a friend was on Destiny, and he looked at my character and he wasn't going to click in until he saw that I was a lower light level. And he was like, explaining it.
Went to inspect the gear.
Why the fuck is Meckii only 1540? Like, she was 1570 last time I looked. And then he clicked in to look at my build to understand why, and he saw that I was a Titan, and he jumps into the voice chat, and he just goes, "Meckii, you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine. What's going on?" And he goes, "No reason," and then leaves the voice chat.
That's great.
And then messages me personally and go with a screenshot of my Titan. He's like, "What the fuck is happening?" It's like, and he kept that secret for 2 weeks.
That's very good. That's very
So
good.
I've been working on a Titan for like
a month. Sounds
a
like
month,
yeah.
Nearly 2 months at this point. My big reveal was initially every time our clan tried to organize a raid, I would get really excited because I was just going to load in as a Titan and not say anything.
Man, that would be so good. And you're like, someone's just like, yeah, I'll run bubble. It's like, Meckii, that's my job. You'd be like, no, I got it.
And there was a reason a couple of times, a couple of us were like, hey DSC, hey DSC, hey DSC, because I wasn't confident enough to do it on Bolt. So we wanted to do something that I was confident on, like DSC, and that's why a few times we were like, hey DSC, hey
I thought
DSC.
that was just because like you wanted a nice easy raid.
The whole goal was I was just going to load in as a Titan and just not say anything.
Okay, we got to make one of those happen then.
Because one of the reasons I didn't want to do Vault as a Titan is because people when they associate me, they associate me with a Warlock.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like for a while that would confuse a lot of people because when I say on me, on Meckii, you would be looking for a black and yellow Warlock.
I never do that. I look for the name.
See, the people who did find out that I was running a Titan, when I was like, they were like, actually, no, yeah, that would probably confuse me if I was looking for you and I saw a Titan there instead of a Warlock. He was like, I would probably be expecting, Chili.
I mean, like, I would not be looking across a map trying to identify a character model and going, that's a Warlock, that must be Meckii, I'll go over there. Because it's way easier to see the word Meckii and be like, oh, that's what she meant.
Yeah. But admittingly, because I've had this chat with a couple of people from our like core clan who run a lot of stuff together. We all have our own kind of color scheme, our own vibe, our own like your streetwear Saint 14 fit. I look for quite a lot.
I haven't had that in a while.
The all gold Titan. I look for a lot. Same with at the moment. One of our teammates, fucking glow stick hunter. I look for him a lot. Another hunter in our clan runs primarily navy blue and white or navy blue and black. I look for that, like at a glance, like a super quick glance.
Yeah.
So I get when people were like, "Oh, if I was looking for Meckii and I saw a Titan, there'd be like a moment for a while."
Yeah.
But yes, I've been secretly grinding out a Titan. I wanted to do it properly. I've been actually doing quests.
Amazing.
You
get the full new light experience too.
Yeah,
you get to
actually
see all
doing
of that.
expansions that are still around.
Are you doing Shadowkeep?
So, yeah, kind of.
You haven't done Shadowkeep on your Warlock.
As it comes up, I'm just like, I should go do that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I haven't run it in Guardian games just because fucking Warlocks for life.
Yeah, you gotta commit.
I might have a Titan, but it's Warlocks for life, Wu-Tang gang.
You got a side piece, that's what you got.
Warlocks are for the children.
Warlock gang ain't nothing to fuck with.
Exactly. Black and yellow.
You're right. It's all there.
Shaolin style.
Actually, you mentioned like Vault and Dim stuff before. I forget who it was. It was some like Destiny content creator, might have been Fitzy. When they announced the fact that there's an Iron Lord title, Iron Lord seal, somebody surfaced an old tweet of theirs that said, if Bungie ever introduce an Iron Lord title, I will delete my Vault.
Oh no. Oh shit.
Yeah. So shout out to them, I guess. That's
rip your Vault.
Fucking heartbreaking. Because if it was like someone like me that like barely ever streams at this, like currently, I could get away with not doing that.
Yeah.
But if you're out there very publicly saying that and streaming a bunch, goodbye Vault, I guess.
Down with the ship.
Oh,
that's amazing.
Crazy.
Rip Vault.
Yeah. And all the times we've joked about doing stuff like that, it's like, no, I'd never do it though. What if I need that? What if I need that used toothbrush?
Exactly. I think my favorite thing about sharing my vault with our fire team is I just trigger so many people of how many blues I still have.
The fact that you put blues in your vault to begin with makes me uncomfortable. They're so pointless.
I just use them to feed other better drops that might not be quite up to that level sometimes.
No, you should, like, at this point, you shouldn't have blues higher than that.
Nah, keep the blues. Sometimes I'll just equip all blues and then send a screenshot of my character to certain people in our fire team just to deeply upset them.
You're deeply upsetting me. I'm sad.
I put all blues on my Warlock one day and screenshot it and sent it to a very kind of regimented and talented Destiny player in our group, but he's also very set in his ways.
Okay.
And just asked him to rate my fit. And all I got back in response was Meckii ... And you and I can both picture the sigh that would have come out of his head.
Oh yeah. Just fuck, you're doing this again. All right. Very nice. Good job.
So pretty.
10 out of 10.
Proud of you.
Yeah, you clicked the button. You clicked the put on all my worst shit button.
Yeah, boy. All greys, let's go. All greys and greens.
That's almost harder to do. I'd be impressed.
Because I rolled a fresh Titan.
Oh, are you keeping all the shit gear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to terrorize people with.
The only problem is, like, it's not as bad as it could be because it's going to be pulling the, like, gear score from the weapons that you've unlocked on your Warlock and using that as the base calculation.
It's not as terrible, but it's still the color scheme upsets
it's
a lot of people.
It's not as bad as, like, a literal brand new account. But it's close. I'll give you that.
Look, part of me, in my effort to be a sneaky little shit, part of me was tempted just to build a new Steam account and just do what I used to do on CSGO and run a Smurf and just level my Titan up on Smurf.
You would need to buy the game again.
That's the only problem. Yeah. That's the thing. I sat there for about 10 minutes and I was like,
base game is free to play.
I'd have to buy all the expansions.
Yeah. If you wanted to do anything with it, you would, yeah.
There was like a 10-minute time span where I was like, oh, is it worth me?
It'd be fucking funny though, yeah.
Meckii, come play with us. And a different Meckii account with a Titan drops in.
With a slightly different name. It's like one of the eyes has the umlaut above it.
Yeah.
But just one of them.
Or like whenever Meckii is taken for some reason. Not a lot of people spell it the way I spell it.
No.
I do the leet speak. M3CK11.
Don't say that. Now people are going to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. I went and parked a lot of handles.
Yeah.
In my youth. I went and opened a bunch of accounts I don't use just so I could get that handle.
Yeah, fair.
I had the foresight.
Yeah.
When Twitch first became a thing, I went and parked a bunch of handles.
Bro, I've shown you the personalized license plate I'm putting on my car.
Hell yeah. I have one.
Okay. So for the longest time,
I don't even drive, and I went and bought one to make sure I could. I pay rego on a license plate that I don't have a car, but I renew a registration on a license plate just to make sure when I do get my car, I can have Meckii as my license plate. I'm a psycho.
Okay, you shouldn't. Pretty sure you shouldn't have to pay rego for a license plate.
You know what I mean? Like I make sure I have that fucking license plate.
Yeah. But yeah. My fucking car is gonna say chillybin on the front and the back.
And I love that it's blue too, without like doxing your car.
The car is this color.
Yeah. So it's like it's esky colored.
Yeah.
Like chillybin colored too.
Chillybin colored. Get it right.
So that's great.
Yes. I put that order in maybe 2 days ago, and ever since every like hour I will switch between that's fucking stupid and ha, that's great. I love it.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna land somewhere in the middle.
Also, like, this is just the most excellent stupid thing you've ever done.
Yeah, but also for the longest time I was like, people who get personalized license plates are fucking morons. It's a waste of money. And here I am dropping $800 on it. Idiot.
Yeah.
Me.
When I was like personalized plate, because I used to work for a developer that developed a lot of sales software for like dealerships, and we had access because we also developed the software for that personalized plate website. And then personalized plate one day sent out an email just like, hey, all of our affiliates get a free personalized plate. Like, we're gonna just like, as Christmas is coming up, here's access to it. And I did it, and everyone at work was like, but you don't drive. And I was like, yeah, but I might one day. I might overcome PTSD from a huge car accident.
Yeah.
And drive one day.
Yeah. A guy.
And when I do, my shitty little car is gonna have my handle on it. So beep
good.
beep, motherfuckers.
A guy I know who also likes drinking beers has pints.
Hell yeah.
It's so dumb. He bought that drunk, if that helps.
Hell yeah.
Okay, we should get out of here. This is so far not Destiny talk. And we've been going for like an hour and a bit.
Fuck yeah.
We will be back next week. More Guardian Games chat, because there's one more week of it to go after this week.
Yeah, and we'll have the winners information probably too by then.
No,
not quite.
We'll be like,
but we'll have TWAB information.
We'll be like halfway through the final week of Guardian Games. We should have probably a rather spicy TWAB.
Hopefully,
we might have you with a higher title count by then.
Maybe.
Fill the vault. Anyway, like, subscribe, hit all the buttons. They're all down there somewhere. Tell a friend, mostly. But
tell an enemy.
I would say tell someone who plays Destiny to listen to this. It's probably not got a lot of material if you don't that is going to be of value, but who am I to judge?
If you dislike either of us, thank you for the spite watch. You've made it this far.
Oh yeah, if you don't like us and you're still watching and you've made it to whatever,
thank
like
you.
an hour something through, what is wrong with you? Get a hobby.
Touch grass.
Get a hobby that isn't watching people you don't like. What are you doing? Anyway, if you did like this, hit all the buttons. We'll see you next week. That has been the show. Goodbye.